If your plan is to shuffle into retirement and apologize for every dollar, close this right now. This is for the fighters, the people who are done funding someone else's skyline and ready to make one monthly deposit do the whole job: roof, fridge, meds, gas, and yes, a Friday night out that doesn't come with guilt. The housing market hasn't collapsed, your strategy has. You've been trained to think retirement means HOA fines, resort taxes, and a mortgage that eats your sleep. Wrong. There are American towns, real ones, with hospitals, groceries, neighbors who wave, where a single Social Security check turns into leverage, not leftovers. We're going to name them, we're going to torch the myths, and we're going to show you how to swap overpriced zip codes for places where your dollars stop losing and start swinging. You'll see low carrying costs, clean tax codes, and neighborhoods where safety and sanity still exist, plus the fine print you need to avoid the duds. This isn't fantasy. It's logistics. If you're ready to trade panic for a plan, tighten your laces and pay attention. Number 20. Danville, Illinois. If you're trying to make one Social Security check do parkour, Danville is where it sticks the landing. The average home value sits around $74,000, which is not a typo, it's Zillow telling you the Midwest still has clearance racks for real estate. That puts paid-off possibilities within reach even if you're walking in with nothing but equity from a used sedan and a stubborn streak. Rents clock in near $802 a month, roughly half the national average, so even if you stay a renter, your monthly bite is gentle enough to leave room for groceries, gas, and a little just because money. Illinois doesn't tax Social Security, period, so the state won't skim your check, though the trade-off is high property taxes. Factor that into your math before you grab the first cute bungalow. Healthcare, you've got OSF Sacred Heart Medical Center in town, plus Carl's Outpatient Hub, translation ER, specialists and imaging without a 2-hour highway slog. Stack it up. Tiny home prices, low rents, no state tax on your benefits, real hospitals nearby, but a property tax line item you must respect. If you want maximum control over a fixed income with enough slack to breathe, Danville makes the budget spreadsheet purr. Number 19. Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Johnstown is for the retiree who wants a real house, real hills, and a monthly budget that doesn't squeal. Average home value sits near $108,000, a price point that makes 20% down feel almost old-fashioned again. Renters get even more runway. Average rents hover around $707, which is basically a polite handshake compared to big city gouging. Pennsylvania does not tax Social Security, which means your benefit lands intact, and the state sweetens the deal with a property tax rent rebate program that can return up to $1,500 if you qualify, useful for covering winter heat or a fresh roof. On the health side, EUPMC has cancer care right in town and a broad statewide footprint, so you're not betting your health on a single small clinic. The reality check: winters are real and older housing can need love. But if you want a budget that works on one deposit a month plus walkable neighborhoods, porch culture, and mountain views that look like a screensaver, Johnstown is a very practical yes. Your money stretches, your benefits keep their full weight, and your life stays within a 10-minute drive. Number 18. Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown is the no-nonsense, numbers first pick, where a Social Security deposit behaves like a paycheck. Average home value about $67,800, that's starter house money for the price of a fully loaded riding mower in certain zip codes. Prefer to rent. Average rents sit in the low $700s with 2 beds, commonly around $785, letting you run a full month on fixed income and still keep a cushion for meds, church trips, and the grandkids' soccer snacks. Ohio doesn't tax Social Security, so the check you see is the check you use. Here's the play. Buy something modest, spend a few thousand tightening roofs and windows, and watch utility bills stay reasonable while you live 5 minutes from groceries, pharmacies, and diners that think coffee refills are a constitutional right. The caveats are grown-up ones. Snow happens. Older housing stock needs maintenance, and certain blocks can be rough, so pick your neighborhood with intention. But if your goal is maximum affordability with access to interstates, hospitals within the regional network, and a calendar of cheap entertainment, think minor league ball and free festivals, Youngstown gives you big bang for your benefit. Number 17. Harlingen, Texas. If you want palm trees, low rents, and a border town cost structure that laughs at sticker shock, point the GPS to Harlingen. The rental market averages around $800, $1,100, depending on unit size and building, which means your Social Security can cover roof, fridge, and phone without side hustles. Buying. Listing data for 2025 shows medians in the low to mid $200, 0,000 as depending on source and month, with plenty of smaller homes trading under the headline number. Texas doesn't tax Social Security and has expanded senior homestead exemptions, a real lever against the state's famously stout property taxes. Translation. Own modest. File your exemptions, and your annual bill shrinks. You'll have grocery chains competing on price, Virginia access down the valley, and winter weather that feels like a warm apology. Reality check. Hurricanes are a planning item. Summers are spicy, and property taxes require respect even after exemptions. But if you want warm weather living, low rent, no state tax on benefits, and a culture with more breakfast tacos than you can eat, Harlingen is a tactical retirement base. It's not hype. Your fixed income actually stretches here, and the beach is a Saturday drive away. Number 16. Kingsport, Tennessee. Kingsport is where the Appalachian foothills meet a spreadsheet that likes you back. The average home value runs about $257,000, but don't let the headlines scare you. Closed sale medians have floated mid-$200Ks in 2025, with a balanced market, and there are steady sub-$225K listings if you're patient. Renting averages about $1,000, $1,350, depending on source and size, still well below national norms. Tennessee doesn't tax Social Security or wages, and that clean tax treatment is why so many fixed-income retirees quietly filter in from higher tax states. Your weekly reality looks like this: mountain views, lake days, and a hospital network split between Tri-Cities hubs, plus grocery and gas that won't hijack your month. Yes, summer humidity and spring storms are part of the bargain, and property taxes exist, lower than many coastal markets, but the overall package is stable costs and high everyday livability. If you crave a calmer pace with real nature, church suppers, and minor league baseball without big city bills, Kingsport trims expenses without trimming quality of life. It's the kind of town where the pharmacist knows your name and your budget still has room for a Smokies weekend. Number 15. Beckley, West Virginia. Beckley is the mountain value play where a fixed income can feel flexible. Average home value sits near $140,000, with listing medians often dipping lower, so cash buyers and small mortgage buyers both win. Average rents around $800, $1,175, keep monthly outflow sane, and West Virginia is phasing out taxes on Social Security, 65% exempt for 2025, moving to a full 100% exemption in 2026. That's real money staying in your pocket. Property taxes are notoriously low by national standards. Statewide medians are only in the hundreds, so owning doesn't kneecap your budget. The day-to-day is simple: trout streams, leaf peeper falls, and a hospital core serving the region. The honest cautions: winters nibble at utilities, some housing stock needs updating, and rural service gaps from broadband to specialty care still exist as you push out from town. But if you want quiet streets, mountain air, and a ledger that balances on one deposit, Beckley is a sleeper that keeps getting better as the state tax on benefits disappears. It's the practical answer for retirees who want debt-free living, friendly neighbors, and money left over after the bills. Number 14. Hot Springs, Arkansas. You want small-town bills with resort-town perks. Hot Springs hands you both: thermal baths, fishing weekends, and a budget that doesn't break a sweat. The average home value hovers around $249,700, which is shockingly sane for a legit vacation market, with lakes on all sides. Patient buyers still find sub-$220K two-bed cottages that don't need a full gut job. Renters get breathing room too. Recent data pegs median rent near $1,250, roughly a third under national norms, so one Social Security deposit can cover shelter and leave cash for utilities, prescriptions, and a brisket night. Here's the arithmetic that makes this place hum. Arkansas does not tax Social Security benefits, period, so your federal deposit lands intact at the state level. Pair that with a light property tax environment, roughly the 0.5% range statewide, and your annual carrying costs stay civilized even if you buy healthcare. You've got CHI St. Vincent's local campus, plus bigger system access in Little Rock within a reasonable day trip, which keeps specialist visits feasible. Real-world cautions: summers run hot, lake neighborhoods command premiums, and property insurance quotes can jump near water. Shop those aggressively. But for a retiree who wants genuine amenities, small-town routine, and a spreadsheet that balances on one check, Hot Springs is the rare market where lifestyle and leisure shake hands. The math pencils out, the weekends will too. Number 13. Lawton, Oklahoma. If your retirement plan is low costs, real hospitals and enough space for a garden, Lawton checks every box without nicking your wallet. The average home value sits around $134,500, starter home money, that keeps your down payment and your blood pressure low. Renting is even gentler. Average rent is roughly $869, which means your Social Security deposit can pay the landlord and still cover a trunk full of groceries. The policy tailwinds matter here. Oklahoma excludes Social Security from state income tax, so the benefit you get is the benefit you use. Day-to-day life is practical. Military town pricing on essentials, a regional medical presence, and big city amenities. An interstate away in OKC, if you want specialty care or a major concert. Yes, you're in Tornado Alley, which means budgeting for a weather radio and a reinforced interior closet is not extra, it's smart. Property taxes. Oklahoma stays moderate by national standards, with county-level rates that rarely ambush fixed-income owners. Verify your millage before you sign, and apply any senior exemptions you qualify for. Bottom line, Lawton lets you live in a paid-for brick box with a yard, a short drive to pharmacies, and a bill stack that doesn't require rating savings. On one federal deposit, this is comfortable, not precarious. Number 12. Meridian. Mississippi. Meridian is the how is this still this cheap? Pick small city services with average home values near $113,000 and rents around $839. That's not just affordable, that's still money left on the 28th. Affordable. Mississippi's tax code does you a solid. Social Security benefits aren't taxed, and most retirement distributions are treated kindly as well. Add relatively low property taxes with homestead breaks for seniors, and your total monthly outflow trends mellow even if you own. The lifestyle. Grocery aisles that don't price check your dignity, a hospital footprint that keeps imaging and ER care in town, and an Amtrak stop for painless visits from family or quick getaways when you need a change of scenery. Real talk. Summers are sticky. Some older housing needs HVAC and window tune-ups, and you'll want to price homeowners insurance with local agents who actually know which blocks flood. But here's the hook. On one Social Security deposit, rent plus utilities plus food is not a magic trick, it's math you can do on a napkin. If you've been getting squeezed by coastal prices and city taxes, Meridian's ledger looks like an apology note from the economy. Smaller numbers, simpler living, and a realistic path to savings even after the bills are paid. Number 11. Pikeville, Kentucky. If Appalachian quiet, plus hospital access plus low overhead is your checklist, Pikeville is the stealth winner. The average home value is about $116,500, so a clean little two-bed isn't fantasy, it's a Saturday showing. Average rent sits in the low $800s, half the national number, which means one Social Security deposit covers the roof, the pantry, and the power bill with daylight left. Kentucky tilts the field your way. Social Security is fully exempt from state income tax, and the Commonwealth state real property tax rate has been trimmed again for 2025. A small but welcome pressure release on homeowners. County and city layers still apply. Know your total. That lets you think like an owner without dreading the escrow statement. Here's the rhythm. Grocery run, porch time, a specialist appointment when needed, and a drive into the hills that looks like a national park screensaver. The fine print is honest. Winter is a season, not a suggestion, and older places may need roof and insulation attention. But the math is why you're here. Own for the cost of a car in bigger markets, or rent for less than many cable bundles, while keeping your federal benefit whole at the state level. Pikeville is proof that small town doesn't mean small life, it means you finally get to keep what you earn. Number 10. Gadsden, Alabama. You want the champ of low carrying costs. Alabama waves from the porch and Gadsden is the handshake. Recent figures show average home values just over $105,000 and median sold prices near $114,000. That's own it outright territory for anyone selling a paid-off condo or cashing a modest IRA. Renters aren't left out. Average rents trend tilde $780, $900, meaning the month's big bill is not that big. Then the tax combo hits. Alabama doesn't tax Social Security, and its property taxes are among the lowest in America, with extra relief for homeowners 65 plus on the state portion. Translation: buy modest, file your exemptions, and your annual tax line looks like a typo. You'll still budget for summer AC and the occasional stormy week, but daily costs, groceries, gas, a plate of barbecue, stay in the friendly zone. The local cadence is parks along the Coosa River, hospital access without a mega-city drive, and neighborhoods where folks still wave. Caveats: as everywhere, pick your block wisely, and call 2 insurers before you bind a policy. But if you've been asking whether a single federal deposit can carry a mortgage-free life with real savings left, Gadsden's answer is yes, in bold. Small bills, simple living, and a budget that finally exhales. Number 9. Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want your Social Security check to feel like it got a raise without Congress lifting a finger, Shreveport is a tactical move. Typical home value sits roughly in the low $130Ks. Zillow pegs it near $137,654, while closed sale medians have hovered around $190K this summer, so patient buyers can still pounce below headline numbers. Rent math also plays nice. HUD's 2025 fair market rent for a 2-bed is $1,017, and private trackers show everyday leases in that ballpark, which means one benefit deposit can cover the roof, meds, and a pantry run. The tax profile is the quiet superpower. Louisiana doesn't tax Social Security, and the state's effective property tax rate around 0.55% is among the gentlest in the country. Just remember parish-by-parish variation. Healthcare isn't hypothetical, either. Oxnard LSU Health Shreveport anchors regional care, bringing academic medicine depth to a mid-market city. Yes, summers are steamy, insurance quotes deserve due diligence, and you'll pick neighborhoods with intention like anywhere else. But here's the bottom line: low acquisition costs, manageable rents, a friendly tax code, and real hospitals make this a nuts and bolts place to live well on one check. No magic, just arithmetic. Number 8. Fort Wayne, Indiana. You want a city that behaves like a savings plan. Fort Wayne is the Midwest efficiency play. Zillow's typical value is about $242,619. Not dirt cheap, but inventory consistently includes clean sub-$220K 2 beds. Renting keeps the monthly burn tame. HUD's 2025 2-bed FMR is $1,199, giving you room for utilities, a pharmacy run, and Sunday dinner out. Tax posture is senior-friendly. Indiana does not tax Social Security, and median effective property taxes land well below many coasts. Seniors can also layer homestead-style reliefs. Healthcare density is unusually high for the price point. Parkview Health and Lutheran Health Network run major tertiary hubs, though headlines about hospital pricing have pushed state scrutiny and new cost pressure laws. Something to watch if you rely on frequent specialty care. Practically, this is flat streets for easy errands, plentiful parks, farmers markets, and winter you plan for with a salt bucket, not a bunker. The trick is zip code precision. Shop neighborhoods, negotiate inspection credits, and file every exemption you're eligible for. Do that, and your Social Security deposit stops feeling fragile and starts feeling like a budget with traction. Number 7. Augusta, Georgia. If you want southern costs without big city chaos, Augusta is the calm math pick. Zillow's typical value hovers near $173,219, and the 2025 HUD 2-bed FMR is $1,175, which keeps total housing outlay inside a single benefit for many retirees. Here's the tax edge you actually feel. Georgia fully exempts Social Security, and layers a retirement income exclusion, tens of thousands per person, that often wipes out state income tax for modest means seniors, meaning your deposit arrives intact and stays that way. Medical depth is real for a city this size. Wellstar MCG Health Augusta University runs a 520-bed tertiary center, so cardiology, oncology, and advanced imaging aren't a highway trip. Reality check: summers are long and humid, and certain blocks have crime you'll sidestep with careful scouting. But day-to-day living is straightforward. Groceries at sane prices, riverside walks, golf-adjacent parks, and enough arts and college energy to keep the calendar busy without torching cash. If you're coming from a high-tax, high-rent zip code, Augusta feels like someone loosened your belt 2 notches and handed you back your weekends. The spreadsheet and the lifestyle both say yes. Number 6. Springfield, Missouri. Looking for the center of the map sweet spot where your benefit goes further than you're used to admitting? Springfield is it. Typical home value sits around $240,047, with many solid listings under that line, and HUD's 2025 2-bed FMR prints at $998. A rare sub-$1K number for a full metro. The tax kicker is new and decisive. Missouri eliminated state income tax on Social Security starting with the 2024 tax year felt on 2025 returns, so every federal dollar lands untrimmed at the state level. Property tax burdens are generally mid-light by national standards, county differences apply, and seniors can stack homestead-type reliefs where eligible. Healthcare bench is deep for a mid-sized city, with multiple tertiary campuses across Cox Health and Mercy within minutes, not hours. Trade-offs. You'll respect tornado season like an adult, winters show up, and insurance quotes deserve comparison shopping. But the everyday costs, housing, groceries, utilities, stay reasonable enough that one deposit can secure stability plus a real buffer. That buffer is the difference between getting by and sleeping well, and Springfield quietly delivers it without coastal drama. Number 5. Erie, Pennsylvania. If you want lake air, real hospitals, and a budget that still says yes on the 25th, Erie is the sleeper hit. Zillow's typical value is about $199,930 after a steady year, while Redfin shows median sale prices around the mid-$150Ks this spring. Translation entry points that don't require rating savings. Renting is workable too. HUD's 2025 2-bed FMR is $1,118, and apartment trackers peg average rents around $900, $950, leaving daylight in a one-check month. Taxes are why Erie jumps the line. Pennsylvania does not tax Social Security, and the property tax rent rebate can send up to $1,500 back to eligible seniors, money that covers winter heating or that dental bill you kept postponing. Healthcare is serious. UAMC Hamlet is a 445-bed Level 2 trauma hub right downtown, giving you big system depth without big city pricing. Yes, winters test your windshield scraper and some older houses want insulation and window work. Budget for that and you'll still land ahead. What you get back is walkable neighborhoods, Lake Erie sunsets, minor league ball, and a monthly ledger that finally breathes. On Social Security alone, Erie isn't survival, it's sustainability with a view. Number 4. Davenport, Iowa. You want big city hospitals, small city prices, and taxes that don't claw your check. Davenport is the Quad Cities loophole. Typical home value hovers around $186,800, and inventory still spits out sub-$170K 2 beds that don't need a rehab reality show. Renting. HUD's 2025 2-bed fair market rent is about $1,025. Scott County, meaning your single Social Security deposit can shoulder the roof and still leave room for a Hy-Vee run meds and the occasional steak night. Here's the quiet superpower. Iowa fully exempts Social Security and most retirement income from state tax for eligible seniors, so that federal deposit lands intact. Healthcare depth isn't theoretical either. Genesis Medical Center anchors a regional network, so specialists, imaging and ER aren't a highway odyssey. The caveats you plan for winters that require real boots, and neighborhood-by-neighborhood homework because older blocks vary in upkeep. But if your plan is to buy modest, file the homestead, and live 5 minutes from groceries and parks without burning cash on state income tax, Davenport hands you stability on a platter. It's the practical Midwest formula. House you can actually afford, rent you can actually carry, doctors in town, and a tax code that lets you keep what you already earned. Number 3. Brownsville, Texas. Looking for warm winters, low baseline rents, and a cost stack that behaves on one check? Brownsville is the South Texas budget engine. Zillow's typical value sits near $190,000, and while new builds push higher, Older stucco ranches and tidy cottages still slide well under the headline. Renting stays tame. The 2025 two-bed FMR in Cameron County is about $948, often under private market asks in bigger Texas metros. Your policy tailwinds are strong. Texas has no state income tax, and seniors can layer homestead and 65-plus exemptions to soften those famously stout property tax bills. Translation: buy small, claim every exemption, and your annual carrying costs stop acting scary. Healthcare footprint: the Valley Baptist system spans Brownsville and Harlingen, and is measured in hundreds of beds. Brownsville's campus alone is reported around the mid-200s, with the network exceeding 800-plus beds across the valley. Actual tertiary depth for cardiology, stroke and more. Yes, you respect hurricane maps, shop wind roof insurance like a pro, and accept summers with a sizzle. But for a retiree who wants palm trees, Gulf day trips, breakfast tacos for pocket change, and a ledger that balances on one deposit, Brownsville is a numbers-first win that also feels like a lifestyle upgrade. Number 2. Johnson City, Tennessee. If you want mountain views with spreadsheet sanity, Johnson City is the Tri-City sweet spot. Zillow prints a typical value around $290,800, but patient shoppers keep finding clean sub-dollar, $260Ks, and tidy townhomes below that. Renting is notably civilized. The 2025 two-bed FMR is about $1,119, which puts a roof, power, and groceries inside a single Social Security deposit for many households. The tax card is an ace. Tennessee doesn't tax Social Security or wage income, so the state never skims your check. The clincher for fixed income peace of mind is care density. Johnson City Medical Center is a 445-bed level I trauma and tertiary referral hub, with cardiac, stroke and oncology depth serious medicine, without a big city price tag. Daily life is practical: greenways, farmers markets, and a cost of living that doesn't pick your pocket every Tuesday. Real-world caveats: summer humidity, spring storms, and a need to comparison shop homeowners and auto insurance like an adult. But the total package: manageable buy-in, realistic rents, zero state tax on your benefit, and heavyweight hospitals. Turns "can we make it on one check" into "we're fine." This is the Appalachia that lets you breathe. Number 1. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton is where an intact Social Security check meets a city that actually respects your budget. Typical home values land near $199,000, but closed sale medians and neighborhood ZHVIs show plenty of entry points below that number, especially in 18505 and adjacent zips. Renting stays workable. Lackawanna County's 2025 two-bed FMR is about $1,123, so a careful lease plus utilities still fits a single deposit, if you're not trying to live like a hotel. Now the tax trifecta: Pennsylvania doesn't tax Social Security, and the state's property tax rent rebate pays up to $1,500 back to eligible seniors, often enough to neutralize winter heat or a property tax installment. Healthcare: dense. Geisinger Community Medical Center continues to expand inpatient capacity, while Regional Hospital of Scranton, about 186 beds, and Moses Taylor operate under a unified system footprint. Consolidation and ongoing investments keep specialty access in town. Reality check: winters bring real snow, and older homes want insulation and window love. Budget for that, and you're still ahead. What you get back is walkable blocks, Railtown bones and arts, coffee and parks you can actually afford to enjoy on one federal deposit. Scranton isn't just possible, it's comfortable, with a rebate kicker that makes the math tilt in your favor.